Our City Heritage Cruise today will take us along the canals of Birmingham in around 65 minutes, starting in Brindley Cruises, named after James Brindley, the engineer who built the first canals in Birmingham. We're approaching Old Turn Junction, where canals meet in 4 directions. To the right is the Birmingham and Fazeley Canal, which meets the Coventry Canal at Fazeley Junction near Tamworth, providing links to the rest of the country. Straight ahead is the new main line we'll return along later, and to the left is the Woolsall Street line we'll follow first. Listen for the skipper giving 2 hoops on the horn to signal we're turning left. It was on a cold January day in 1767 that several prominent businessmen held a public meeting in Birmingham to consider the possibility of building a canal towards Wolverhampton, and they commissioned the canal engineer James Brindley to survey a route. An Act of Parliament was passed the following year to allow construction of the canal to Wolverhampton, with a branch to the coal mines at Wednesbury. The canal allowed coal to be transported and the money so much easier, but modern boaters can use the full length of their boat as living space. They have the same amenities as you have at home, with central heating, hot and cold running water, and electric power for fridges, televisions, computers and mobile phones. Sherborne Wharf Marina provides there are services for the boat, including chandlery, repairs, maintenance and so on. The pontoons on the left beyond the small bridge are the moorings for this boat and for 2 other trip boats from Sherborne Wharf. Their names are Euphrates Packet, Jericho and St Catherine. All are available for private hire or charter for fully licensed and catered cruises and parties, both daytime and evening. Coming up on the right, you will see still more boats, each with their own styles of decoration. The Golden Cross is a charity hotel narrowboat run as a joint project between John and Catherine Hackett and a Birmingham City Mission, and supported by Sherborne Wharf. Their blue-coloured boat often has a Buckby can on the roof. Keep watching, and you'll see the many varied designs and colours of those as we pass through the room. Each of the former boat companies had its own designs and colours to identify their boats, being just as important for them to develop their brand and their image as it is for companies today. Ahead is Ladywood Junction, where the route along the Woolsall Street route through Sherborne Wharf joins the more direct route of the new main line. The small bridge carries the towing path over, enabling the horses pulling the boats along the new main line to do their work. We'll return along that new main line later. Note how the skipper moves the boat across them. The bridge on the right carries the towing path over the entrance to Monument Lane Basin, which is still there today, although reduced in size. This was an interchange basin with the London North Western Railway, where goods were transferred between canal and rail. In many parts of the country, the building of the railways triggered the decline of the canals, that were often competing to carry the same goods for the same customers. There was fierce and ruthless competition to win the trade, and in most cases the canals lost out, leading to a long period of decline, and in some cases closure and abandonment. In the Midlands there was a good relationship between the canal and the railway companies, who often worked together to increase their trade, ensuring the survival of more canals for us to see today. You will see the railway running close to the canal, following the same straight level route, never deviating far from the canal all the way to Wolverhampton. After cruising all the way round the route, which is part of James Brindley's old main line with its twisting and turning route, we're staying on the new main line with its more direct route. Brindley's original line was too slow and narrow for the increasing traffic which its early success brought, and Thomas Telford was brought in to survey the newer, straighter line we're following now. Brindley's old main line duration will be forthcoming for another of your own company's boats, but perhaps not for a rival company, sometimes leading to unrest and the occasional towpath fight. This new route must have seemed like a motorway to the old, to the ignorant before, another part of the old main line. Listen for the skipper giving two blasts on the horn as the signal that we are going to turn left. Boats rely on horn signals to show their intentions at junctions, rather like road vehicles using them. Regeneration is changing the views from the canal. Once the popular Ladywood Crown Cinema stood by the canal, opened on Boxing Day 1927 and demolished 80 years later. More buildings, both going and gone, have served their purpose well over the years. Soon the canal will be enclosed by modern buildings, just as it is near the centre of Birmingham. It's not that many years since the canal where we started near the ICC looked as derelict as this. It's almost impossible to imagine what it will look like here when the regeneration is complete. And if you'd really like to test your imagination, then go back further in time and think of the canal warehouses and industries that would have lined the banks in 1772 when the canal was opened through to Wolverhampton. Pleasure cruising would have been a concept that none of the old boatmen could have imagined. Now you can not only enjoy these boat trips, but you can hire boats to cruise yourself along the attractive canal system, or be pampered on hotel boats where you merely have to sit back and watch the scenery drift by. You may see some of the hire boats whose lucky crews are visiting Birmingham as we cruise back along the main lines. Turn to reach the Coalfield there. Officially named the Worley and Essington Canal, it soon became known as the Curly Wurly to the old boatmen. Ahead is Rotten Park Junction, a crossroads where our new main line's route crosses the S-shaped route of the old main line, creating two loops as it does so. Straight ahead is Telford's newer direct route to Wolverhampton. To the right is the start of the Soho route